everyone. I'm just sitting here this beautiful Saturday, and I had so many things on my mind, and a couple of things I wanted to show you. I do have a little lesson, and I'm going to go into it in a little bit, but I just have to show you a couple of things first because I think it's pretty neat. First thing I want to show you is I was at a garage sale, and I picked this up a while back, and I've yet to show it to you. I think I paid $5 for it. This is an old Roy SMECK, S-M-E-C-K, I guess that's how you say it. It's a ukulele. I have it in standard tuning. What is that? G, C, E, A. And I picked it up really, really super cheap. These actually have a solid mahogany body all the way around. But this one, being made in the 50s, in the late 50s, it has the plastic fingerboard. I understand the earlier 50s and before, when they first started making them, it had a wood fingerboard. But they went cheap after 1958 or something like that. But this one, it still has some sound to it. I think the strings are a little dead. And so I just thought I'd show it to you. I think it's pretty neat. Any of you out there have one of these? Or do you remember them when you were a kid? This one's a little beat up, but it still plays. It still tunes up. It's got the original tuners on it. And you get the idea. I won't quit my day job here. Of course, I don't even have a day job anymore. Anyways, here it is. It's the SMECK. These are actually made in Chicago in the USA in the 50s by the Harmony Company. And it came to mind because of the fact I'm working on a harmony right now. You'll see all my little videos I'm putting out. For those that like to follow that kind of stuff, I'm putting those videos out. After all, this channel is called Guitar Notes and Notions, so I kind of mix it up and do different things. Won't be long, we'll be doing road trips again in end of July and visiting stores across the nation and checking out all their different guitars and what's new for 2026 and so on. And hopefully a bunch of handmade instruments. I really love to see those. But anyways, I just thought I'd show you Roy SMECK's ukulele. And it's still playing, and it's from the 50s, the Harmony Company. And I think it's pretty cool. And well, that's not all I wanted to say. I don't know if you watch what goes on with Krutz guitars. They're in Miriam. I visited them, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. I visited them in Miriam, Kansas. And they have a store that's connected to them. It's called the KC Frets shop. And so if you ever get into that area, you want to go to that store and check it out. And but it's connected. But one of the things I noticed is he put out, by the way, I've got their t-shirt on. That's the other reason why I was thinking about it, KC Frets shop. But in fact, when you go there, you'll see if you remember the Krutz guitars, I'll show you one. I've got it right here. This is a Krutz guitar. This thing has a solid, I'm hitting everything here. This has a solid koa top. And it's a pretty beautiful instrument, as you can see. And here's the back and sides. Those are laminated back and sides. Check out their YouTube, not their YouTube, but their website. Just look under Krutz Strings, Krutz. And you'll find them, because these things are $6.99. That's it. It has beautiful tone. And so I don't know, you just might want to check this out. I just thought you might want to do that. But one of the things I noticed was they put out a guitar they made here in the United States. I think they call it the Avante. It's one of a kind, and it happens to be on the KC Fret shops, not the Krutz, but the Fret shop. It's on their website. And so you can go check that out as well. It's an arch top. And I saw the YouTube channel, and the guy that runs, I forgot his name, forgive me if he happens to see this, but he played it, and he's a wonderful guitar player. And it just sounds awesome. It's actually great for someone that loves jazz. It's one of those arch top guitars. It's just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And so I thought I'd let you know that that's out there if you're interested in checking it out. I don't work for the company. I bought one of their guitars back in, I think it was a year and a half ago, something like that, when I was in Clovis, California. And then I went on to go check out their store, because it was so interesting that they're here, not just their store, but their factory in the United States, where they make violins and mandolins. There's some beautiful handmade mandolins, just amazing. It's beautiful. It really is. And of course, this line of guitars, they make out of China. That's how they can keep the price down. But again, it's made beautifully, and you got to just check it out. So check out both those websites. And so that was what I wanted to share with you. But I also have a little bit of a lesson I wanted to show you. I had a Zoom call yesterday, and we weren't able to record it. We forgot all about the recording. We got into it. So I thought maybe I'd show that to you today, so we can get it out there, and something that you can practice and think about. We all don't like to think about scales. Whenever anybody says, oh, let's learn a scale, everybody just kind of goes, oh, no, please don't do that to me. But I kind of approach it a little bit differently. I like to get a hold of those charts. I'll put one up here where you can see the whole fingerboard, and say like you pick a major scale like the G scales, and you can look at all the notes across the fingerboard. I'll show you the G. I'll put it up here for you. But so I like to look at those. I'll sit there and stare at it for the longest time, and then play around looking at parts of it, not trying to do the whole thing, just look at parts of it. And look for patterns. Just try to find things. And the reason why I do that is because I got an old brain. But I think even when I had a young brain, patterns stick. It's something that stick in my mind. When I see it, I can remember it. Whereas if you just look at the whole thing and think you're going to snapshot it and remember it, unless you're brilliant, it usually just jumbles in your head. And it's the reason why everybody kind of throws up their hands and says, oh no. But, usually you just play those in part anyways. You don't play the whole thing. You play parts of it to fit your music and what you're doing. So I think it's a great idea. At least it's what I do, is I find just pieces of it that seem to have a pattern that I can remember. And I want to show you one that I found. I'm going to use the G. I'll put it up there. And we'll also go over to the C, because it uses it uses the same patterns for this one thing that I'm going to show you. Now, this isn't the whole chart. This is just a piece of it. But spend some time with it. If you can get a bite size, you're one bite closer to eating the whole apple. Okay? You don't want to shove the whole apple in your mouth. You can't chew it. But if you just take a bite, you're one bite closer. Okay? So let's try this. All right. So we're going to talk about G. Now, it's a good idea to learn where your root notes are. And it's an easy way here on this low E string. If you know that's the E string, if you've got your strings memorized, which you should by now, know that this is E, A, D, G, B, E. I mean, for standard tuning. But so if you don't know that, learn that, because it's important. So if you know that this is E, and you remember this one thing, E to F and B to C. Okay, actually it's two things, E to F, B to C. Those are always one fret, E to F, B to C. Okay, and then all the rest of them are 2 frets. So when you're going up a scale or going up the fingerboard to find the notes, this will be E. And if you want to go to F, you go E to F, 1 fret. Okay, and if you want to go to G, you go 2 frets. And if you want to go to A, you go 2 frets. And if you want to go to B, you go 2 frets. And if you want to go to C, B to C. It's 1 fret. okay? And then C to D, okay? So that'll work for every one of these strings. If you know the name of the string, you can work your way up and find any note. But you have to remember E to F, B to C, okay? So we got that out of the way. Okay, so we're going to go to the G note and look at our little pattern. Okay, so here we're going to go to G. It's right here. We know it's there because E, F, G. And also when you make the G chord, we know that's G and that's G. And it's neat to know for every one of your chords, like there's C. I know there's a root note here and a root note here. Here's F. I know there's a root note here and a root note here. It's good to look at your charts and just start thinking about that. Think about where's the root note for that major chord. And once you find the root note, now you can make movable chords. There's all kinds of stuff you can do. Okay, so we're not going to get into that, but I did want to say that so you just know why. Why do I need to know that? Well, it's your way of freeing yourself up from playing up here. Okay, it's the key to freedom. Okay, knowing your root notes. Okay, so we got this G here. Now we want to do a G scale. And I'm showing you this one here because it moves around the fingerboard, okay? Okay, so let's learn it first. Okay, so we're going to start with G. We'll go to the next note 2 frets up, and the next note 2 frets up. Okay? So that you've just finished the E string. Everything that's going to happen on the E string for that pattern. Okay, you got that? So 3rd fret, 6th fret, 8th fret. Or 7th fret. Honestly, I can count. Okay, 3rd, 5, 7. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, so you got the first string out of the way. Now let's move to the next string. Guess what? For the next string, you're going to do the same exact thing. Okay, 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret. Okay, so now we have the E string. Go to the 5th string. Okay, so you're almost there. Now you just have 2 little notes you have to know. Okay, and you're going to move over to the 4th string to get to that. You always count the strings from this side up. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So you're going to string 4, and you're going to go to the 4th fret. Okay, and you'll play the 4th and the 5th. Okay, and that's the scale. Got it? Okay, so it's all right. So that was simple. So practice that. Now you'll notice when I went to this note here, the reason why I know it's on the 4th fret is because I think about where my root note was, which was here, and then I remembered. I kind of make myself remember I just have to move up 1 fret from the fret that the root note was on. And there it is. Okay? Okay, so you got that part down. Now, when you did the scale, this G scale, you started on G and you ended on G. Okay? G is here and G is here. You can always, when you're working from this string here, find a duplicate note. Just move over to string 4 and down 2, and you'll find the duplicate always. See? So now that we have that, we've got this, and we know we ended on a G. Let's do it again from where we're at, from this G. Let's do the same scale, using the same pattern, except we end up on this 2nd string here. 2nd string is the B string. It's the oddball of all the strings on your guitar is that B string. When you look at how this guitar is tuned, they say it's a perfect 4th. What they mean by that is that the number of notes between the E string and the A string is 4. Okay. And they're all the differences 4. So you got E, F, G, and then A string. See, there's 4. So that happens for all the strings except for the B string. There's only 3. It's just, it breaks up the pattern. Yes, I know, but it's the way they do the standard tuning, and there's a reason for it. I can't explain that, but trust me, it's a third, okay? All right, so now that we got that down, that B string is an oddball. So therefore, when you do this one, you have to compensate for that oddball, and you can't go 1 fret away from where your root note started. You got to go 2 on the second string, but it's the same thing, 1 away. Got that? So it's always for the B string. You have to compensate. You move up one more fret. Okay. So far we have got it? So practice that a few times, because you just learned the scale, the G scale, all the way up the fingerboard here, several frets. And you can use that, pieces of it, when you're playing. You find where you're at, and you can play around it with some of the music that you do, okay? So, anyways. Now, we ended up here, and again, we know it's a G, right? So you got a G here, you have a G, and you have a G there. Those are all the root notes. All right, so you can start your scale from that. And guess what? It's the same pattern. Except we ran out of strings, so just you move up 2 frets and then do your 1 there, or you can come over here. Okay, so there you go. So you got your scale. All right, now I'm telling you this to just add one more thought to the whole puzzle. Now, if I were to put up the C scale, you'll find here's a C chord, and the root note is here and here. We're going to start from this one. It just so happens the C chord does something similar, okay? Where the root note is, right? 5th string, 3rd fret. Go up 2 frets, go up 2 frets. Move over to the 4th string, go up 2 frets, go up 2 frets, move over to the 3rd string, and the 3rd string is 1 fret away, again, from where that root note is, see that? And then, so it's the same pattern. And so you ended on a C. Look at that, there it is again, C and C, works all the way up. Okay, it works all the way up the fingerboard. So now that we know that, okay, and we ended on a C, that means we can start again. But the interesting thing is that we get to this part where we're going to do 3 more, you know, the 3 in a row. We hit that B string again. So guess what? You have to move up. So now it's going to be on the 6th fret. You can end it. Okay? Did you see that? So we have almost got me there. All right, there we go. All right, so there's the C. Now, the good thing about knowing C and C and knowing that these are C, when you move C up 2 frets, you're at D, right? So that means I can do a D scale. Start here, you know, your root note's here, right? So there's a D, there's a D. Okay, so let's try it. Now I know a D scale. If I move up 2 more frets, we're at E. Aha, there's the E scale. I mean, that works for G too. If you move here, you're doing an A. If you move here, you're doing a B. You see how that works? So it frees you up. Now you're learning scales all over the guitar. And as you progress in learning, you'll grab pieces of that pattern to add to your music. All right? So I thought I'd just show you that today. And I hope it made sense. I hope you followed it okay. If you need me to give you more let me know, and I'll do a short or something and try to show it again, and we'll see what happens with it. All right, so I'm going to leave it right there, and so don't forget, check out KC Frets. Go look at that new guitar. They handmade that thing, and it's made by some world-known luthiers that are here in the United States. They're violin makers. They make violins and mandolins, and so they made this beautiful jazz guitar. I think to buy it, you have to spend like $6,000 or $7,000, but it's all handmade. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's made here in Kansas. So check that out. I'll try to find the link and put it in the description. And then also, if you're interested in Krutz guitars, check out their channel. They have not changed, not their channel, but their website. They haven't changed the prices. It's still the same. And you can buy their mandolins there. They have mandolins. They have all types of fretted instruments. You just have to check it out. And it's just really, really cool. All right, so we're going to leave it right there, and I hope you all have a wonderful day or night wherever you are in this world.